camera.
Yeah, go on and have a seat there. I'm going to grab a couple guys out of the other room and
Yeah. He's the tallest pitcher in baseball.
Huh?
He's the tallest pitcher in baseball.
Oh, I know. My son was 6'7".
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that gives you sort of a, yeah.
And he's expected to be 6'10".
Yeah.
He's 17.
I know.
Randy, you're the first one who's actually
That tall at 17?
I know, yeah.
He's still growing.
Yeah, he's still going.
I think they've got a person from one of the Romania that's like 6'9",
Yeah.
but he's like 25. So your son beat
He's
him.
still a baby, so.
Okay, 10 o'clock, let's start. We've got a pretty fair baseball player here, as you all know. A little bit about his stats. He recorded 303 wins, 4,875 strikeouts, 5 Cy Young Awards, 10-time All-Star, 2 no-hitters, 1 a perfect game when he was co-MVP of the World Series in 2001 with Kurt Schilling as a member of the Diamondbacks. Randy, what the heck's a baseball player doing on auto race?
I missed my exit off the freeway.
Well, Randy is here as a photographer. What are you shooting for? Who are you shooting for?
Well, I'm just having fun here. I'm the guest of the Penske race team, and Chris here, obviously, with the Long Beach Grand Prix. I went through him to get this all kind of the ball rolling. But being retired now, I have the opportunity to do some things that I haven't been able to do while I was playing. I enjoy photography, studied it at USC, and shoot a little bit of everything whenever I have the opportunity, whether it's concerts or family or motorsports. It really doesn't matter. Everything I shoot, is exciting and obviously an opportunity to meet a lot of people that are the best at what they do.
Good, very good. Have any questions for Randy? We'll start taking them right now. One at a time, hands up, please. The gentleman right there, Doug.
Randy, have you been a motorsports fan over the years? And if you have been, have you had a favorite racer?
Well, I've always, it's hard not to watch auto racing on TV, whatever type of racing it is, it's always on. So, last month I was over in Pomona shooting the drag racing over there, and I was telling some of the racers that, I grew up watching Don Garlitz and Don Perdone and people like that. I know what I'm watching today is a little different than the Michael Schumacher type of racing, but I'm just trying to understand a little bit of a different profession. I've played my profession my whole life, and now I'm trying to enjoy something else outside of my arena and take pictures of it at the same time. And that is obviously a task at hand as well, not only to be at the right place at the right time, but it's all just kind of for fun. You guys are all professional photographers, and I'm just here to have fun and sign some autographs and shake hands and have a good weekend like everybody else.
As a baseball player, did you take pictures throughout your career? Because I know you said you're passionate about photography. Did you?
Yeah, not as many as I wish I would have now. I've been, approached a couple of different times now since I've retired to do a few books, and a lot of people knowing that I'm a photographer, that would have lent to real cool chapters. The only thing I really did from a photographer standpoint throughout my career was I did my own line of baseball cards. I think it was Donruss or Topps asked me if I wanted to do a line of baseball cards, and so I took some of my favorite players at the time that I was playing against, and we had little themes with the players, and we did a limited edition run of the baseball cards. But that's really the only thing I did while I was playing. Kind of regretful now that I didn't do more, but so be it.
Down here?
Is there a place where your work's displayed at?
What's that?
Is there a place where your work is displayed?
No. A lot of people have asked me if I'd put a blog together. Some of my work has been, this past summer I did some work for certain friends that are musicians, and so I would go on the road with them and they would put some of their stuff on their website for a short period of time. There's a band called Soundgarden that are from Seattle. If you go on their website, you can see some of my stuff on their website from when they played in Chicago last summer. They used some of my stuff for that, but for the most part, it's just all kind of fun, doing stuff with friends and letting them have my photos if they're good enough and worthy enough for them to use, and just being out of my arena in somebody else's and meeting them and just kind of having a good time.
Yeah, fine.
Randy, Dick and Ware, the Motorsports Report. I noticed you at Phoenix last fall at the final race. Did that lead to your interest in motorsports? You were in the media center, and I didn't know if that was your first.
Well, it was the beginning of the run of where I've been now. I mean, it was NASCAR, and then I went to Pomona, and the NHRA was about 3 weeks ago, and then here. But it's kind of like whatever is going on. I mean, I don't have a favorite thing to photograph. I think as a photographer, you want to, shoot at all kinds of different arenas and things like that because it would help you as a photographer as well. But I'm just, I'm just a photographer that's having fun, and a lot of times I'll put my camera down and just watch, because this is all new to me. I mean, a lot of these people, whether it was NASCAR or whether it was the NHRA, some of those photographers are shooting 20, 30 years, as long as I was playing baseball. So for me, they're used to all that kind of stuff. For me, it was all, taking this all in, just much like it is, this is the first time, other than watching it on TV, this is the first time I've watched open wheel racing. I watched it on TV. I've been to the Indianapolis, 500, not to watch the race, but I've been at the stadium when they were doing time trials. Ironically enough, I was playing minor league baseball in Indianapolis, and I was injured at the time, so I was able to go to the time trials. So I'm familiar with all this, but to actually, now go in and take pictures, it's a real blessing to be able to have the opportunity to, and the access to try and take these pictures. But as a photographer, we all know, you don't know how good your photographs are until you download them and you see them on your screen. But, I don't know, most of it's just for my own use.
So will we see you at other events in the future?
I'm hard to blend in, so I'm assuming if you see someone from the distance that's about 7 feet tall, that'd probably be me.
Yeah, actually, we checked the media guide, and Randy is the tallest photographer ever at the Toyota one of these. That's you watched the celebrity race, I guess. Do you want to try something like that?
Probably not. I'd rather be on the other side of the fence. But no, I'm just having a good time. I had the opportunity to do some other events and just really enjoying the opportunity to be out of my arena and in somebody else's and learning something that I enjoy doing. So.
One right down here.
Randy, what do you find is the biggest challenges in shooting motorsports?
Well, I mean, I think as any photographer, being at the right place at the right time. I mean, you can sit somewhere for 3 hours, and then all of a sudden, with motorsports being so fast, it's really all about timing and being there when something happens. Unfortunately, as media photographers, you're trying to get something that is newsworthy. But for me. It's all about, I just enjoy watching the multiple cars come into the corner and taking pictures of that, or being over on the pits. And, yesterday I sat for about 20 minutes and talked to Danica Patrick. She's from Arizona, so we just talked about both being from Arizona. And then, meeting Mr. Penske yesterday for the first time. So just... I'm out of my arena, but I appreciate them letting me come into theirs.
Back here, Doug?
Yeah, Randy, have you been to Long Beach before, and what are your impressions?
Well, I went to USC for 3 years, so I've done all the trendy things. When I was back, at SC, I've been over on the Queen Mary, I've shot some concerts at the arena here. Back in the 80s when I was in college, I'd come over here and shoot for the Daily Trojan. So I'm pretty familiar with Long Beach. and actually, all of California. Growing up in Northern California, and
We got one over here in the middle.
Yeah. What kind of equipment do you prefer, Canon or Nikon?
my iPhone.
No, don't.
Well, I'm gonna, seeing that I don't have an endorsement with anybody, I'm not really gonna talk about that. I will say that I have learned a lot talking to other photographers, and I think that's really what it's about too, is getting that one shot and having it.
What will you be using today?
What will I be using today? My G4. My Apple G4, the newest one that's out now.
Questions for Randy out there?
You go.
One right down here.
Yeah. Oh,
Randy, where do you live now?
Where do I live? In Arizona.
okay.
Is that a trick question? Why do you want to come over?
Okay. As an ex-pitcher myself in the Kansas City organization, I know pitchers love to hit home runs. Have you got a pitcher that you could say is your home run? One simple pitcher that you've taken so far?
Probably not.
Oh, baby.
Well, only because I haven't, I've seen some incredible photographs, like when I went to the media center in Pomona for the NHRA. But those photographers were telling me they've been shooting for 30 years.
Yeah.
To expect to get the photo,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen
Yeah.
the very first time. And if it does, well, then that will bring you back,
I know.
But for a photographer that does it for their livelihood, you're going to get that great photo, but it's probably going to take you 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
To get that one photo or multiple photos. It doesn't happen overnight. And I haven't shot anything long enough to really say that's the photo. I've shot a lot of different things. I remember I shot a lot of that Strat stuff when I was shooting for the Daily Trojan. I'd go behind, when I was at USC, I'd go behind the fraternity, and ironically enough, I had my camera, and there was a Mini Cooper back in the day in a dumpster. But it went for an incredible black and white photograph.
Yeah.
It was just a very abstract picture of a Mini Cooper sitting, must have been a bunch of fraternity guys, picked it up and threw it in the dumpster. But it was perfect, it had some graffiti on it. So I've shot a little bit of everything. I was over over in Iraq at the USO, shooting some of the soldiers over there and some of the architecture over there. And, for most photographers, it's about the lasting memories, being able to go back and look at that image. And at least that's what it is for me. It's not to be published or make money or anything like that. For me, it's just, if I have something worthy enough of blowing up and making an enlargement and framing on the wall, I've done that. But, another photographer might come in and say, yeah, that's okay. But for me, it's all about what the individual photographer likes. So, if I'm lucky enough to be able to come back here a few more years in a row, I might get that, that photo that you're talking about. But I don't have anything, that I would, want to put on the screen here and say is my favorite and have it critique, because for me, something might be more special than for somebody else.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Yeah, Randy.
Looking back at your baseball career and all of your accomplishments, is there one item or one area that you would most like to be known for?
Well, I played 22 years in the major leagues, and in order to do that, you got to be healthy, obviously. I had my share of injuries. If you look at, my career, I had my share of injuries, 3 back surgeries, 4 knee surgeries. But the bottom line was I was always able to recover from those rather quickly and come back. They never hindered my career. I didn't have to retire because of those injuries. I retired because I was done doing what I used to do, and I couldn't do what I used to do anymore. But I just feel very fortunate that I was able to play that long. We're talking about photography. Here, I have a body of work, 26 years of baseball, so now I can pick out some highlights, winning the World Series and beating the Yankees. Unfortunately, during 9/11, winning 5 Cy Youngs, and then meeting some of the people that I've met, meet Moore and Spawn, people like that, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra. But I have to say, from a team standpoint, winning the World Series, from an individual standpoint, probably the thing I'm most proud of is my durability, being able to go out there and pitch 22 years and be able to compete and be one of the best at what I did for the time that I did it.
Any more questions for Randy? If not, we'll let him go back to taking photographs. Randy, thank you very, very kindly. Appreciate it.